Hi everyone, thanks for tuning into my channel, Huub Hildenbrand Guitar Academia. Today we will go on with the lessons on the different maqams where we look at all the possible basic tetra and pentachords. Yeah? And we'll take a brief, sometimes more into depth, sometimes more on the surface. Take a look on how these different tetra and pentachords behave in the actual maqam, and that is necessary because we also want to know how these tetra and pentachords actually are extended to form a scale, and also we learn about its leading tone, which is also like very specific for every tetra pentachord. I mean, especially for the maqam. So we look at the so today, for example, we look at the pentachord Nikriz. Yeah, that's always a pentachord, Nikriz, and we look how this is built, this pentachord, and then we look how this is actually extended into a full scale in the Nikriz maqam, and of course also we will take a look at what this Nikriz also means. If we say we play maqam Nikriz, it means that like with most of the maqams we have, it's not just staying into this kind of a 7-note scale. It's always, or mostly, we also branch out to certain other tetra pentachords, or we change some notes, and we will take always with every maqam we will take a little bit closer look to that, what is also like happening, or what in a way you have to also show, you also have to do when you say you play the maqam Nikriz. Yeah, so we have our like basic tetra and pentachords. We have like Ushak, Husseini, Rast, Charga, Buselik, Kurdi, Hijaz. And then we talked about Sega, Müstiyar, Hüsam, and Ferachnak. And now we take like 4 more. It's like the tetrachord Sabah. It's a pentachord Nikriz. Then it's a pentachord Penchka. And Nishabur, which is also a pentachord, diminished pentachord. So we will go into that. And so there will be 3 more lessons on that kind of a topic where we put these tetrapentachords into musical practice, into the context of a maqam, because every tetra and pentachord has its name. Like Rast is a tetrachord, but it's also a pentachord, and it's also a maqam. So to really know more about this tetra and pentachord, how this in a way works in a kind of a scale situation, we have to take a look at the maqam. Because later on, a maqam really goes to these different plateaus. Really likes to, in a way, to shift its roots or to modulate to different plateaus, to different temporary roots, and very frequent. I mean, and every root is the root of one of these tetra and pentachords. So whenever we reach a certain tetra and pentachord, when we did this kind of a process here with all those tetra and pentachords, you know what is also like the nearest things which can where this tetra and pentachord can extend in a way. So how this tetra pentachord normally exceeds the 4th or 5th, or what kind of a jeden, what kind of a leading tone that has, and so these kind for that is really important to know these tetra and pentachords just a little bit better, not just these 4 or 5 notes, which is more like yeah, more like artificial. It would be more artificial. So we have to bring them somehow into a musical context, like a fish. You know, you put that in a fishbowl just to see what this fish is doing there in the water, swimming around. And when you just have a fish there, a living fish on a I don't know, like a plate, then yeah, it's moving somehow, but you do not really understand it. You can talk about it a little bit, like the colors and shape and whatever, but to understand that more, you have to see this fish swimming. That's an interesting example. It just came to my mind. Okay, Nikriz will be our topic today. And down in the description below, you find the link for this today's PDF. It's just this one page on Nikriz where you see like the notation of what we are talking about today, just these scale and tetra and pentachord things. And yeah, so it would be cool if you download that, so we can. I'm also having this in front of me, and also it supports this channel, so it would be a great thing to do. Thanks. All right, so Nikriz is a cool pentachord. When we look at it, and that we actually can do that, we can think about that without thinking about microtones. So it's just, in a way, it's just a minor pentachord. Yeah. But instead of the fourth, we have a raised fourth. So the tritone, which really, yeah, also likes to go to the fifth. And the fifth is also later considered as güçlü, so as most dominant note. Yeah? So we have the karar, that's the root, and the fifth is the güçlü, the most dominant note. Okay, so we have a major second, a minor second, an augmented second, and a minor second. Now, when we go to the Turkish tonal system, then we think of that that pentachord. It's E, yeah, and on the second degree, on the major second, yeah, 9 comma, it's a T, like the interval. From this F sharp, from the major second, it shows it's constructed with Hijaz tetrachord. Hijaz tetrachord without microtones would be. Yeah, it's a very like cliche typical color also of Turkish or like Oriental music. It's also kind of called Oriental minor in a way, this thing here. You also find this in Balkan music, for example, also a lot of this kind of a pentachord. When you apply the microtones, then it's actually a bit more round, a bit more nice, not so yeah, like a bit like cartoonish in a way when you just play it with a plain note. So what you do is you make this 1 comma or 1 or up until 2 commas. It depends a little bit, and you can play with that. It's like in theory it's just 1 comma, this G, but in practice it can be also it can be a little higher, and always together with a sharp 4, which is lowered. Instead of that's interesting how this sharp augmented fourth sounds much nicer together with a root, a little bit lower in the microtonal field or microtonal tuning of Turkish classical music, whereas sounds really like it's always funny. I think it's really like very obvious that the ear gets so quick adjusted to these tones and really feels, okay, that sounds right. And then you play the 12-tone equal temperament, so what you normally have on the instrument, on the guitar, and then you think, I don't know. And that's really, it's something really, what really shows that there in this Turkish microtonal system, this division of the octave into 53 equal parts, commas, you find a lot of much more natural right intervals, like also considering the harmonic series. It's very close, yeah, and I'm sure this augmented force is also more close. Yeah, you have this actually as an 11th partial, you have this augmented force, and I don't have it in my head now, but I think it's lower, it's a bit lower. So, beautiful, instead of so in practical music, as I said, in practice you can sometimes also or just like when you really play that according to the theory and you do all these microtones really right and really tune them exactly to this division of the octave into 53 parts, then it sounds very, very clean mostly. Yeah, you have a more clean. It's kind of clean. Whereas there comes the feeling, the emotion, yeah, I mean the dirt. I want to say it, but in a positive way. It's not sterile. I don't know. So it's not that. It's living. And one very nice thing also in that pentachord, what you can do, what's always also nice with hijas, when you have in this case F sharp hijas, to do this kind of andolan, and even do this G a little more high than it actually is, and then do this kind of that's much too high, but you resolve it quite quick, but you don't go back exactly to the G. You stay always a little bit higher in pitch, and you just play a little around with that even higher version to give it a different kind of an expression. I'm saying this quite often because that's something really I feel it's really important. For me, it's really important that you actually really know that stuff. You know, you really know about these microtones, about the harmonic series, about this andolan, and like these are really like kind of exact intonations. Yeah, it's not just, let's do some vibrato here on that note, it sounds cool. You know, like that. I mean, you can be so, like, it's so wrong. Instead of, you go, yeah, and when you know that, you know what is your what to go for, or what you wanna which intonation you want to show, and what is the right note concerning to what kind of a tonal system, and then you exactly play those tones, and then you get this color. Then you think, oh wow, that's beautiful. That's a little sharp, maybe. Now that's great. That's great. And that is exactly the process I want you to do, like really, that you really find those notes, these beautiful notes, and really that way you can really make really a difference, then it's really deep in a way. Okay, so that was like Nikriz. I also already showed you some stuff I will talk about now. How do we extend this perfect fifths of Nikriz? When we play that pentachord, and we already talked about that, you really hear, in a way, this fifth is really it's emphasized. Yeah, and also when you remember or watch these lessons on the tonal framework, that we have like two kind of tonal frameworks. One has a fifth and one has a fourth. Yeah, as a division of the octave. It's like two tonal frameworks, and because we have the sharp 4, we eliminate any sense of that maybe we want to go to a fourth, so a perfect fourth. Yeah, that our root in a way supports an A or something like that as a different root. So it's one of the kind of very few, you can say very few tetrapentachords which do not have a perfect fourth, sorry, and instead of this perfect fourth, it's like a augmented fourth, and you really hear, yeah, you want to go to the B, and B is your Güçlü. B is your most dominant note. So you go to B, and now you are there, and you have the leading tone also. And now you have two possibilities how to proceed. You can either think you go Buselik from B, or you can go Rast from B. So you can either show you can either show that minor quality, or can just, you don't have to play the whole tetra or pentachord of Rust or Buselik in this case. It's just also about Czechny. So just go to this D or D sharp. And then you can also, after you show Rust, you can also show directly. So these two possibilities you have. So you go to the güçlü to B, and then you have two possibilities: Rust or Buselik. And the same is happens when you go down, when you extend it downwards. Yeah? You can also extend it downwards by so if you do that, D sharp, then you also have, then you're also on B Rust. Yeah, or you do, but always your leading tone back to E is always this D sharp. That's the Jeden of Nikriz. And what's very nice, I mean, what sounds nice in a way, it's also like doesn't sound like chromatic, is using the D sharp as a leading tone to go up to the root, and use the D going down back to the perfect fifths, to the güçlü. I'll show you what I mean. Yeah, so okay, so I think that's clear. If we what also, of course, what doors now really open up is we have B as our güçlü, and then we show either Buselik or Rust tetrachord, or just Czechny, just the three notes, just this flavor, you can say. The first three notes already create minor or sorry, talked a lot of German just before this video here. And so we open the door to show like a whole octave actually. So either we can show like Buselik, like Aeolian, or we show Rust, but Achemli Rust. So instead of having the A sharp, the major sevenths, we have the minor sevenths. So it's these an assembly rust is just, it's also on the page, you see that. It's like Mixolydian scale, but it has a little bit flatted major third to, which is more like softer in a way and more according to the harmonic series. All right, so that's Nikriz. Kind of. Okay, so yeah, so I think you got this pentachord, Maqam, Nikriz, just a minor pentachord with this augmented perfect fourth, and then it has this güçlü, the most important thing, most important note, dominant note on the fifth, on the B, and from B you can just branch out a little bit into a major quality or a minor quality, and yeah, and then come back Nikriz, and also like extension below the karar, below the root, from the fifth degree. You also have these two possibilities of buselik, minor, or rust, major, but you have to use rust, so to have the D sharp as a yedin, as a leading tone, to go back to the karar, to the root. Okay, so that's it for this lesson. I hope you enjoyed that, and you maybe are inspired to go on also with microtones and to understand that kind of a scale and the sound. Maybe it's inspiring for you. Next week we go on with these maqams. The next 3 weeks we will just talk about these remaining ones, like Sabah, Penchka, and Nishabur, and then we have a kind of a basic picture of all these different maqams, and we can also more and more go into this is the field of where like all these different cultures, like maqam, European harmony, Western harmony, and raga, and all that kind of thing, different tonal systems and intonations and microtones, how they actually where they meet in a way to yeah, this goes deeper into what I'm actually doing. Yeah? I'm not actually, I will not, you will maybe never hear me like sitting down and say, okay, now I play Nikriz, that's my tune now, or something like that. But I will use these colors, yeah, but in a different kind of a context. But of course, this series here also going more deep into the Turkish maqam and checking like every like of these more basic maqams, like really checking them, gets a more clear idea how these colors actually work, how they function, and yeah. So, all right. So I hope you, as I said, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and also you can click the bell button to get notifications, that you also get a notification next week when the next maqam will be there. when it released, like every week you have a lesson here on this channel. And you can also donate. Just go down the description below to my website, hoophildenbrand.com, the Guitar Academia page. There you find a button where you can also donate. So this would be really cool if you want to support this channel. If you feel like, if you really value this stuff here, I would be really happy. And I really hope that it helps you in your journey, and this inspires you also maybe to take a look into different other cultures maybe, and yeah, also start more and more to respect these different cultures, musical worlds. And yeah, it's so incredible what music can be, or how music can be I mean, this variety, actually, what music is, and sometimes this narrow view what a lot of musicians have, in a way. It's for me, it's often very strange, because I feel yeah, if you deal with music, it's just, you have all these possibilities. They are all there, you know, and it's all extremely connected. And the more you study that, the more you see how connected this all is. And then to say, no, that's my thing, I only do that. I just can't do that. It's just so fascinating in a way. All right, so I wish you all the best. I hope you get into that here, and you stay tuned. So thanks for watching. My name is Hoop Hildenbrand.